I didn't just end up in that seat by accident. Someone told me to sit there, behind the coat rack, next to where they put the leftover food. You even tied a bow on the chair, right? Nice little detail. But look, I know that wasn't just some mix-up. The lady with the spreadsheet said, she asked me to keep it quiet. And the guy taking pictures made sure not to point the camera at me, didn't he?
Oh, wow. You really don't get it. It was supposed to be funny. Everyone laughed. You're the one who turned one small mistake into a whole drama. Honestly, I think you like feeling left out. You're not the main person anymore.
For 12 years I worked double shifts at the cloth factory so he could go to college. I used to nap in hospital cafeterias just to save on money so he could buy his school books. And when he walked in wearing that fancy black suit you picked out, I knew the make because I used coupons at that store. But still, someone else got the spot I deserved.
You did what any mom would do. That doesn't mean you get to be in charge of everything now. We paid $87 for each guest, and the wine alone cost $4,000. You should just be glad you got invited.
With the sound of forks tapping on dessert plates and little candles glowing, Rhonda sits half hidden behind some ivy plants. The planner didn't make a mistake. That seat was left out on purpose, at a wedding full of shiny decorations and fake smiles. Her son never looks straight at her, and the photographer makes sure the camera never points her way. In every photo people see later, part of a navy blue sleeve shows behind the leaves, and under the table napkin on her knees, the envelope waits, already stamped and already closed.
I used to think if I just loved enough and kept quiet, someone would finally choose me without me having to ask. When Damon was born, I tried to give him everything in my heart, but it still wasn't enough. His dad left just 1 week after Damon's first baby tooth came in. He wrote a quick note on the back of a receipt saying I was too much work for too little return. That was our whole marriage turned into numbers, and for the next 18 years I acted like that receipt never happened. I told Damon stories about a man who loved jazz and worked long hours helping others. I made up favorite colors, fake childhood memories, a whole life just so that boy could look at himself in the mirror and not feel broken. And I did all of that while cleaning schools at night and stocking shelves during graveyard hours. Because really, what else is love, if not hard work nobody notices? Still, I made that boy believe his dad was a good man.
Everybody's got a sad story and likes to think they suffered more than others, but that doesn't make you special. It just means you've gotten used to it. You wear your past like it's something fancy, and want people to clap for it, like it means something deep. But being hurt doesn't mean you're always right. And just because you gave more than you could, doesn't mean the world owes you hugs and flowers.
You think I'm putting on a show? Try putting together bills with just $2 and a pack of pie crust mix in your purse. Try rocking a baby near a cold stove and acting like the lights being out is part of some winter adventure. I worked through sore throats, swollen ankles, and whole months I can't even remember because my body just kept going. I did 12 years of working nights, spent 12 Christmas mornings with no sleep, and made up 12 fake migraines just so I could cry alone without scaring him. I hid shut-off notices behind magnets on the fridge and sang lullabies to cover up the sound the meter reader made. He never saw any of it, all the bills, the stress, the way I was falling apart. He didn't even notice that I never slept.
So what? You did what moms and dads are supposed to do? Join the club. You act like being tired makes you a hero, and then you're surprised that Damon feels heavy around it. Maybe, just maybe, making your whole life about sacrifice made him feel like everything came with a price. Maybe he just wanted to start fresh without feeling bad.
You think I wanted to sit across the table from guilt every holiday? Of course not. I wanted someone to say thank you. Shoot, I would have settled for just having him there. I gave up eating meat for 2 years just so I could pay for his piano lessons. I skipped medicine so I could buy him that Mickey Mouse nightlight because he said it protected him. Every year he asked for cherry cake, and every year I used powdered eggs and extra vanilla so he'd think magic didn't cost a thing. At work, I'd hum lullabies in my head just to remember what he sounded like sleeping. And now he shares that soft life with others, eating slices of joy I never got to bake.
He doesn't hate you. He just got older. And you can't expect someone to carry your sacrifices forever. You were always there, no doubt. But maybe that's the issue. You raised a man, not a copy of yourself. Let him live without your past hanging over him.
You really think this is about holding on to the past? No, this is about knowing where I stop and where the secrets begin. You play this family like it's a game, moving people around, but I was never just a piece. I remember your face the first time I brought up Connor. Your hands froze and something in you broke for just a second. You forget I noticed the little things, the way your voice changes, the way you smile too wide. I may keep quiet, but I remember everything. You keep trying to erase what's real, but I hold on to the facts.
Careful with how you say that. There's a big difference between remembering things and trying to get back at someone. Details can be real dangerous if you use them the wrong way.
You once told me you'd never even been to Portland. You said you only flew over one time on your way to Napa. It's funny how detailed that lie was. That guy who called me Connor Walsh, he didn't sound like someone who didn't know you. He sounded like a man who lost his kid and watched the mom disappear. You didn't think he'd ever find me, did you? He talked about the apartment on Burnside, second floor, rain stains near the old fire escape and a Chinese bakery across the road. He remembered it all, Indy. Even the little top you wore when you told him you were keeping the baby. He still has the picture. You told him your name was Indira. You said he wasn't ready. Maybe he wasn't, but Damon didn't find you by accident, did he? You brought the baby like it was luggage, changed coasts and your story, and dropped into our lives just in time to make it look like love fixed everything. You planned it all, changing your name, the timeline, everything. But the past, it's loud, Indy. It yells in voicemails, postcards, and online stuff. And it always comes back. I just want to know, you said you never went to Portland. Then how does Connor have a son with your same dimples? So tell me, was the silence part of the gift you gave that boy?
That man isn't well, Rhonda. And you believed him instead of your own family? You're letting your need to find answers mess with your head again. Some people make stuff up, things that grow from online stories and old broken memories. Of course he thinks he knows me, because he wants it to be true. You have no idea what Damon and I have been through. The counseling, the lost pregnancies, the long nights not knowing if we'd ever get to hold our own baby. Our real baby. Not some made-up miracle from a stranger who just wants to matter. But you'll believe anything, won't you? As long as it puts you in a story where someone owes you the truth. Keep digging, Rhonda. You're not the one holding the legacy now.
You took pregnancy pictures just 2 weeks after meeting Damon. Indy, even the file data proves it. One of the photos had a light pink bib with the name Cashton on it. Not Marcus, Cashton. That's not some dream out of sadness, that's a photo you thought you got rid of, but you didn't. You posted about food cravings on a now-deleted blog. You wrote about throwing up in spring. Damon met you in June, so explain that. Explain how a baby that started before your anniversary was supposed to be his miracle. The math stopped making sense once I looked closely. Oh, and by the way, that insurance paper you sent before leaving Portland? The one with Marcus's first doctor visit forms? I asked for a special copy of old records. I have the results in my purse. I'm not letting things slide anymore. Now I keep count. And these numbers, they don't have feelings. They don't forget, and they sure don't lie to make anyone feel better.
Wow. You really played detective, huh? Little Rhonda with her old notebooks and paper trails. So cute. You think your attitude and old files give you some kind of power? That's funny. You're putting together a case for a court that doesn't even exist. Damon loves this baby. That's real. What are you giving? Just more anger dressed up like proof. You forgot what love really looks like. And anyway, people remember stories more than dates. And no one cares about old papers when they're holding a kid who calls them daddy.
You know what really hurts, Indy? Not the lies. I saw that coming. People who trick others change cities. That's just what they do. What really gets me is watching my son build this dream with a life made from someone else's pain. You think holding a baby changes the whole story? That just feeling wanted can cover up lies. But you forgot. I held that boy, Damon, through his bad dreams, through asthma, through the shame he felt when kids made fun of his old shoes. I helped build his future with my own hard work. And now he's holding a baby that doesn't even have his blood. Because you gave him hope, all wrapped up in a pretty lie. But hiding behind pretty paper doesn't make it real. I just chose to look underneath. Every receipt has writing on it. And this one, it's written in red. Indy, you faked a whole story, but your fingerprints are all over it.
You always wanted him back. That's what this is really about, isn't it? Not Marcus. Not the truth. You're upset because Damon stopped living by your rules, and for the first time he loved someone without needing your say-so. I bet you even felt happy when that test came back. I bet that made something heavy lift off your chest. Let's be real, Rhonda. All this pretending you don't want revenge. Stop lying to yourself. You're just trying to be the hero who suffers on purpose if it means people notice.
I sent Connor's statement yesterday. To Damon, to a lawyer, to your parents. I made sure it was signed for and confirmed. I don't need to pull off your mask anymore. You already ate it whole. And no, I didn't smile when I got the results. I cried. Then I baked some bread. Then I packed away that tiny shirt you sent me. The one that said Grandma's Boy in cheap thread. I know what he'll remember, Indy. Not me yelling, but me being gone. And one day he'll link that quiet to you. You can't change this story with charm. It's going to end with shame. And I'll be far from here feeling peace for the first time again.
He's not gonna leave me. He can't. Not after all of this. Not after becoming a dad. He said we'd try again. That all of this was just noise. He just needs some time. We still have anniversaries to celebrate. You think this means you win, Rhonda? It doesn't. People forget about letters. But they remember the arms that held them when they were crying. And he'll remember mine, even when yours are empty.
I brought pot roast last week, remember? You were busy decorating the baby's room again for the third time. You said everything had to look perfect for pictures. I didn't say anything, like usual. I didn't want to make it about me. You gave me a plastic spoon and told me not to use the nice ones. But I had already made my plate, already gave him a little oatmeal. Babies spit food out, right? Then they chew on anything near them. He reached for my spoon. I washed it after. Put it in a zip bag when you went to take that video call. I was careful. Nobody saw. I didn't say anything. Didn't brag. Didn't freak out. I just watched like I always have. Quiet time can build a lot when no one sees it. That baby bit on my spoon before you even knew what happened.
You went too far. That's not sweet. It's creepy. Watching everything like you own the moment. Trying to prove something nobody asked for. I let you in because my therapist told me to be kind. But this is too much. You're crossing a line. And if you touch anything in this house next time without asking, we're gonna have a talk you won't like. You're not his mom.
No, I'm not. I'm just the one who noticed the crib receipt came from a shop in Portland. The one who saw that your vitamin bottles didn't match the due date you gave. I'm the one who knew Damon thought you two met in February, but your insurance started baby care the month before. I never told anyone. I just kept it to myself. I paid attention, like when you messed up and called him Marley once. That's Connor's dog's name, right? There are little things, small ones, but if you listen close they say a lot. And I did listen, very close. I saw the receipts.
You think you know everything? You don't. Real love doesn't come from guesses and bills. You're chasing after stuff that's not even there. Holding on to pieces that don't fit. You say Portland like it means something big. You're 10 years too late for whatever story you're trying to live. Connor is gone. He's not real anymore.
I talked to someone who's not on your side. Margaret Chen, yes, the ex-detective. She's very careful. Your lease ended exactly 3 months before Damon asked you to marry him. The phone under the name Indira Walsh was turned off the same day Connor posted a photo asking where you were. And he's still looking. He reported you missing 2 weeks before the wedding. At first I didn't think it meant anything. People lie, make drama to get attention, but then I saw the date on that ultrasound picture you framed on Damon's nightstand. It was from 2 full months before you told him you were pregnant. And yes, Connor is still searching for you.
You can't just come into my life like some courtroom lawyer. You think Damon needs your help? You want to hand him a mess and see what he does with it? Because if you open your mouth to that man, even once, you won't just hurt me, you'll break him into pieces. That little truth show you're putting together, it will destroy everything you pretend to care about.
I already mailed him the report, printed, signed for. I sent the pictures too. The tax papers, your lease end date, the ultrasound dates. I thought about holding off, but then I remembered how staying quiet only ever helped lies, so I sent it all. I even added Connor's signed letter. Put in one of Marcus's newer pictures too, the one in the yellow baby outfit. I mailed it on Tuesday. You're scared of a fire starting, but you were the one holding the match. I just lit it. It's already burning.
You're just sad. Acting like this is about what's right when really it's just revenge. You want someone to cheer for you for messing everything up? Go ahead, clap for yourself, old lady. But when this is all over, when people stop shaking and stop feeling sorry, you'll be the one standing in the mess you made. You broke something that was still whole. And no one's gonna thank you for that.
The test results came last Thursday. They were sealed, signed, and someone watched it all to make sure it was official. I didn't tell you right away because I didn't think you even knew what truth looked like anymore. But I checked them, twice, quietly, out loud, and everything in between. I could have thrown it in your face the second I opened it, but I didn't. I waited, not because I was scared, not because I wasn't sure. I waited because sometimes letting a lie sit for one more moment gives it power before it dies. I was hoping maybe you'd admit it, or maybe you'd try to save what was left of your story. But then 2 days ago, you smiled at me, knowing exactly what you did. I don't want an apology. What I want is something clear. You made this pretty picture with sparkle and charm, but underneath it was all fake, made with fake names and someone else's blood. I'm not here to yell or throw a tantrum. I'm just holding up a mirror right in the middle of your perfect world. The show is over. I just haven't pulled back the curtain yet.
A bunch of papers can't erase the years I carried him, the nights Damon held him, or how this house feels like our story. You really think a lab and someone watching makes what we built go away? That you can walk in here, wave some paper around, and make everyone forget we raised Marcus? Damon already knows the truth that really counts. We're his family. You can call it a show, but you haven't felt what we have. You don't see how loyal Damon is.
You know what he said when I showed him the envelope? He didn't ask if it was real. He didn't deny it. He just asked what took me so long. That's what hurt the most. He already had a feeling. Remember the baby shower? Those peony candles and your fake laugh? You said you were only 2 months along. But the receipts tell a different story. That prenatal order was from almost 2 months before that. And I found a selfie with a date and time on it. Remember that one? In front of his mom's mirror, holding a test with a line on it that was clear as day. Not faint, not maybe. Real, strong. Proof. You smiled, but your eyes were already far away. You thought being sweet could hide the numbers, but the dates were real. Your body was real. The truth doesn't lie. Do you remember the color on that test when you smiled in that photo?
You just love turning everything into drama, and now you're pulling everyone else into your personal mess. Damon feeling bad doesn't mean he agrees with you. And digging around like some sad detective doesn't make you right. It just makes you small. I let you into my life even though you always watched me, always judged me. And now you're proving I was right about you all along. People who are bitter always find a reason to bite. One day, that bitterness will choke you.
If I wanted to tear you down, I would have done it already. I've had this for more than a week, but I decided to stay quiet. Not because I'm scared, but because I respect what should be respected. Damon didn't need a show. He needed peace. And Marcus, he deserves a future that doesn't come from a woman's fear and a man's blind love. You think this is bitterness? No. Bitterness would have been yelling at your baby shower or calling out Connor in front of everyone. What I did, that was protection. I didn't want a scene. I just wanted the truth to be seen. Out in the open, and now it is. I never wanted your crown or your seat at the table. I only wanted one thing, truth. But since you wouldn't give it, I went out and found it myself. I know whose blood is in his body, and you do too.
You still don't get it. People don't always choose truth. Sometimes they stay for comfort, or the memories, or the lie they fell in love with. Damon isn't a boy anymore, he's a man, and he chooses what helps him feel steady. Right now, that's still this house. Still our son's laughter. Still my hands making his meals. You think you've won something, but all you've really done is give him heartache. Just wait and see. He's going to stay with us anyway.
Then you haven't really looked at him these past weeks. You didn't see it, the quiet at the dinner table that wasn't from being tired, the way he pulled his hand back when you passed the spoon. He already knew. I gave him everything 3 nights ago. I sat across from him without saying a word and handed him the folder. He looked at every page, every message, every date and time. He didn't talk at all for 5 minutes. Then he asked if he could bring it home. You still think you're ahead, but the truth is, this whole thing ended before your turn even came. The curtain didn't need to go up for him. He already walked off stage. That clock ran out 2 days ago. I just came today so you can feel it for yourself.
I knew. I felt something change. His eyes, his words, they were too careful. You just sat there smiling last Sunday like you weren't ready to burn everything I worked so hard to build. I gave this family shape, love, and beauty. And you, quiet little you just waited for the right time to destroy it. But you forgot something important. You don't go after a name like mine without paying a price.
Before he does anything else, maybe we need to talk about what you skipped over. I stayed quiet through your photo wall, your cartoon cupcakes, and your mom's long speech like it was some important event, just so I could give you a chance. You thought I'd stay quiet and just smile through all of it, didn't you? Quiet, Rhonda. Just another guest hiding behind the big plant. But this isn't about being polite or looking good for the family anymore. This is about what's real. I don't need anyone to give a speech or feel sorry for me or tell me I'm right. What I've got is real proof. It's official, has a date and time on it, and went through all the proper checks at LabCorp. I sent it myself, tracked it, and signed for it. And now, while the cameras are still on and you're still pretending everything is perfect with your pretty decorations, I'm giving this to the one person who really needs to know. This is a DNA test. Done in private, done legally.
You're not doing this right now. Not in front of everyone. Not when he's just learning to walk and both grandmas are finally here. Whatever you think you're trying to prove, it can wait. Let's talk somewhere quiet. We can deal with this like grown-ups, not like something out of a magazine drama. Please stop. You're messing up a child's special day just to feel powerful.
No. You said your side in front of everyone when you sat me by a trash can and laughed with strangers while I found bugs in the punch bowl. You planned that embarrassing moment and made it look like a gift, and I still thanked you. I smiled and acted grateful while you pushed me into the background. I'm done. You want things to be private now? You had 9 months before Damon even met you. 9 long months. That's how far these papers go back. There are ultrasound pictures, a pregnancy blog saved from Portland with dates on it, and here this page, page 3. Damon, you need to read every word. Look at the photo, look at Marcus, then look at Connor.
Are you serious? You printed some old pictures, and now you think that makes you judge and jury? Families aren't made through test results. They're made from choice. Real care. I loved that child and raised him like my own. I created that bond while you just watched from the outside and planned this moment. That's the truth everyone knows. Everyone here knows that I raised him with love.
Love doesn't change who someone's real father is, and you can't use love to cover up a lie this big. You didn't just lie to Damon, you took away his right to be a dad, and you knew exactly what you were doing. That's not love, that's control. This wasn't just bad timing, this wasn't an accident. You made sure you were the only one choosing what truth people got to see. Look at him, look at his face. He could have been so many things, a godfather, a stepdad, a friend, or even someone who stayed away, but that should have been his decision, not something you took away to make your life easier. Damon deserved the chance you denied him.
You think you won something now? Good for you. You ruined everything that was still standing. Not just the lies or the party, but the people, the relationships, the trust. You didn't just bring proof. You brought a knife. And now we're all bleeding. You didn't just speak up. You destroyed what could have been fixed.
You want to talk about what got ruined? It all started the second you smiled for the camera knowing Damon wasn't the father. You wore a white dress, wrote sweet messages, posted big moments online, all while hiding someone else's truth behind our family's name. I didn't break anything. I just showed what was already broken. You built a pretty world out of lies and lit candles like everything was perfect. This isn't me getting back at you. This is your moment to face what you did. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I just held up a mirror long enough for everyone to see the truth. And now that I've done that, I'm done. Don't worry, I'm not staying for the cake.
Go ahead and leave. Just like always. Quiet, cold, acting like you're so right. But you don't even see what you've turned into. You really think this makes you strong? It just shows that you're alone. How does it feel to stand with pride when no one's clapping for you?
No, I don't want a place at the table now. I've sat there long enough. I've earned a quiet meal by myself. You don't need to clap or act shocked or say you always knew. This wasn't about getting back at anyone. It was about standing up and showing the truth so anyone could see it. You heard how quiet it got afterward, right? Even your mom sipped her drink slower. Even your dad wouldn't look at you. Everything you built fell apart because of my calm words. And don't bother running after a door that's already closing. You were standing there while it opened. I didn't yell. I just gave the proof and left the room before anyone could clap like you were hoping for. I didn't have to wait. Truth doesn't beg for people to notice. It doesn't shout. It just shows up and stays, like the morning sun. I came to free myself, not to blame you. I left not because I was scared, but because I had enough strength to walk away and stop pretending you still had the power to hurt me. Whatever story you're about to tell next, I won't be a part of it. You lost the right to speak for me the last time I took your cruelty and called it patience. This isn't revenge, it's me coming back to myself. And not even you will turn that into drama. Truth doesn't need a show, it speaks all by itself.
You walked out like you were in some sad movie. Rhonda. No warning, just silence. Like that made you better than us. You think walking away made your message stronger? All it really did was show us what we've always thought. That when things get tough, you give up. You never finish what you start. You think showing everyone my secrets made you look strong? That just showed you needed a way out the moment people started asking you real questions. People who are scared walk away from tough talks.
No, you mix up peace with running away because you don't really know either. I didn't walk out to avoid the mess. I left because I didn't need it. Let me make something clear before you twist it again. I'm not part of your story anymore. Not your story at all. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was seeing things clearly. Not every mess is my job just because I know how to clean. I didn't make this mess. You did. You hid in it. You pulled others into it because pretending was easier than telling the truth. I didn't run from responsibility. I just said no to living under yours. You wanted me to scream, right? Then you could call me crazy. You wanted drama. But I brought facts. I showed the truth and stepped back so others could see themselves clearly. That's not walking away. It's freedom. And if you really looked, really looked, you'd see the people you count on to keep up the act aren't even looking at you anymore. My job was never to fix all this. My job was to stop pretending I didn't see it. You asked for kindness, and you got it. Being held accountable isn't being attacked. It's a way out. Now the cleaning, that's on you.
You think you're so calm and in control. You're just cold. You wrecked everything. You broke up my marriage right in front of people who didn't even know we were having problems. Did giving him that paper feel good to you, like dropping a bomb and vanishing? You didn't just call me out, you tore down everything I had left. And for what? Some quiet win no one's even clapping for? You'll end up alone anyway.
Being alone isn't a bad thing. It's peace when it's your own choice. I spent years asking for tiny bits of love from people who liked it quiet when I didn't speak. I stayed in empty places hoping someone would think of me. So don't talk to me about being on my own. I've spent time with it. I've had talks with it over coffee. I've turned down my own happiness just so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. But things changed when I stopped asking to be part of someone else's room and started choosing my own place. You thought I was quiet because I was scared. I was paying attention. I was thinking. I was choosing when to take my space back. Not as a problem, not as an afterthought, not as a woman sitting near the trash, acting like that was okay. I was already alone when I gave fake smiles at your parties. I was already alone when you showed off a child that I had a feeling wasn't even mine to love. But now I'm complete. I don't need your space. I've got my own house full of truth. I have my name back. My son might need some time, but one day he'll understand that silence meant I had to survive. And now silence is something I choose. And for me that's special.
You're the one who pushed him away, not me. You and that stubborn attitude. I begged you not to ruin that night, not to give him that envelope, but you just had to prove your point, instead of caring about how anyone would heal. Now he's broken. He can't even look at the baby. You didn't protect him. You broke him. He'll hate you for it.
He's not sad about being a father. He's sad about being lied to. There's a big difference. That pain you see in his eyes, it's not because I ruined something good. It's because he didn't want to believe the truth, even when it was right in front of him. He's learning that love can't always beat lies, especially lies that deep. I didn't cause that pain. I just stopped hiding it. If you really cared about healing, you would have told the truth a long time ago. You saying sorry wouldn't have fixed it, but at least he wouldn't have had to go through a fake story. You took away his chance to know the truth sooner. You made him smile through someone else's mistake. You covered up lies and called it love. But I gave him back the choice you took from him. Truth isn't some bad thing. It's what grows back when the lies are gone. He's hurting, yes, but at least now it's real hurt. You never gave him that. I did. I didn't break him. You did.
You act like you're all pure and good in this, but you're not. You're just like me. You just hide it better. I see it in your soft voice, in how you sit there all calm. You wanted power. You wanted to have the final word, and you got it, didn't you? Yeah, I lied, but you're just better at hiding your poison.
I used to ask myself what I did wrong. I'd walk around my kitchen, making bread while trying to swallow all the excuses I could think of, and they felt horrible. I thought the problem was the way I said things, or the time I chose to speak, or maybe I was just too sensitive. But now I see, none of that mess was mine to carry. You didn't want me gone. You just wanted me to be quiet. And I did that for years. I kept my mouth shut so Damon wouldn't feel caught between being loyal and loving me. I held back the truth to keep everything looking perfect for him, for the baby, and sometimes even for you. But the more I stayed quiet, the smaller and smaller I became. I told myself maybe it was a mistake when my name wasn't at your wedding table. Maybe someone just moved it. But deep down I knew better. You did that on purpose. Not to be mean, but to send a message. You smiled while doing it. And me, I smiled right back, didn't I? But look at me now. I'm not pretending anymore. I know now I don't need a place at your table. I never did. I just needed to stand up again. I was never the problem. I was just the one who saw everything and wouldn't stay shut.
You think this makes you the good one? Come on. You're just angry that nobody cheered for you when you gave up everything. That's what really got under your skin, right? That people didn't see how hard you worked, and that I got all the attention. You talk like you're some kind of hero, but really you're the one who messed things up. You ruined everything. For what? Just to feel like you got some kind of answer? You knew this would hurt him. But still, you stood there with your little casserole dish, smiling like a judge giving out punishment. Don't act like that moment wasn't planned. You knew what you were doing. You could have talked to me in private, but no. You wanted a crowd. You wanted everyone to look at you while you destroyed everything. You wanted to look like the hero making things fair. Well, here's the truth. I saw how much you gave up, but I didn't care. People forget about heroes once the fire dies down.